Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Jenna, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Gergen. Here. Trustee Rhodey.
Yep.
Trustee Belt. Here. Trustee Krasovich. Here. Trustee Kreiser. Here. Trustee Grabowski.
Here.
President Knutson.
Here. Item 2 is public hearing. We have none. Item 3 is the approval of the regular village board meeting dated August 6, 2024. I hope everyone's had a chance to look it over. Are there any questions, comments, or corrections as to the way it is presented this evening? If not, I'll look for a motion to approve as presented then.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Item 4, citizen comments. This is an opportunity for citizens to share their opinions with board members on any topic they choose. However, due to Wisconsin open meeting laws, the board is not able to answer questions or respond to your comments. All comments should be directed to the board. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Speakers are asked to please use the podium and state their name and address for the record. Is there anybody in the room that would like to make a comment at this time? Yes, ma'am, in the back.
My name is Mark Whittinger. I'm a resident at Bell Point Apartments, apartment 209, very lucky. And I'm here to talk to you about the assessment that our apartment building received for fire EMS. While I understand that being a senior, a younger senior there, I haven't used any of the services, but I might someday. And it's my right. It's my right to call services if I need it, understanding that there's going to be a charge. My insurance, my Medicare, whatever private insurance I have will be billed, and I might be balance billed for that. But that's my privilege. What I've worked for all my life is to have coverage for those sorts of issues. One thing I think is unfair is that we're being lumped in to a certain category of senior citizens, people on fixed income. Yes, I have the ability to work 2 jobs right now to maintain my lifestyle. Not grand, but my lifestyle. Some people are on fixed incomes and have a far less income. Being assessed a $100 a month fee to help cover the assessment for our building has been a detriment to some of those residents in the building. Like I said, I'm able to work 2 jobs. I can probably afford that. But there's people that were assessed this fee that haven't turned their air conditioning on, can't afford to go out and get groceries, and they don't want to ask their children or their grandchildren to help them. You all have parents, I'm assuming, and someday your parents will be in the same position. Is it really fair to assess that high an assessment on somebody who's got fixed incomes, limited incomes? Have you looked at the residents around the area who may use the facilities, the services more? Open records doesn't indicate the number of calls to the building warrant this kind of assessment. And I really think that government and residences need to look at all the big picture for everyone before we are unfairly assessed. And we have a lot of voting power. We have a lot of ability, just like anybody else, to reach out to family members and try to fight this. And unfortunately, it's impacted all of us negatively. And
Thank you, miss. Is there anyone else that would like to make a statement at this time? Yes, sir.
Jim Catt, 1088 Quail Court. Your methodology for this ESC is just wrong. I met Max Stark in the lobby. I told him that somebody in the village has manipulated that spreadsheet, which I emailed you all about. And I heard someone just remark that one ESC doesn't represent one call per resident. That would mean there's 8,000 calls. I don't think you guys really even know what the math is behind it. ESC is supposed to be a multiplier based on, used as an average to judge proportionality to the 1.0 of a single family. Your data to derive that was wrong because someone manipulated the unit counts in that spreadsheet. I'd be willing to bet anything that your amount of units is not 918 multifamily, not 1,809 single family, and 1,796 multifamily. They're off by 136. 126 of those were switched in that spreadsheet, in the parcels sheet. Another 10 of them were just honest clerical errors. There's 4 duplexes that were charged 2 times 4 each side because they're condos, not duplexes. And then 2 vacant lots. So that 136 difference, I'm almost positive. That starts your 1.0 baseline is faulty. The whole methodology is faulty. The biggest problem with it, though, is it doesn't factor in fixed costs to variable costs and incremental costs. The incremental costs are billed already, for the most part, through Medicare, balanced billing. If there's more incremental costs, you guys send an invoice. The city does through fireworks software. I got a lot of call data from Chief Pierce last night. My property only has 16 calls this year. If you average that out for the year, not only are we getting billed, but we'll be paying $5,600 per call on top of that. And then the 3 years prior to COVID, there was 109 calls. But this fee was implemented using 153 calls for 2 years. And someone else just said, well, it'll be updated next year in the previous year. Just once, the ordinance doesn't update itself for 5 years after that. Every 5 years. Everything is wrong about it. To not calculate incremental costs is just a tragic flaw. The city of Delafield uses the ESC model. You obviously didn't copy them because I think they did it right because they factor in proportionality of fixed costs, population, etc. Not sure. But they charge the seniors 0.5 ESCs, 1/2. You guys are 12 times more. If the seniors want to pay for their services they actually use, they don't use the roads. 65-year-old ladies drive 7,000 miles a year. I have a DOT study. 30-year-old males drive 17,000 miles per year. So they're doing a refund on that. Garbage, they don't pay. They have to pay their own garbage. They should get a subsidy on that. And schools, none of them go to school or have kids to go to school. But the math is the math, and the unit count is the unit count. So everything with the data that comes from that is flawed. I've given you reports concerning that. I just talked to Matt Stark in the hallway. I don't think I followed his methodology. I don't think he did a bad thing. His method, he focuses too much on the spreadsheet. His memo said, well, I haven't had time to drive by the units. Well, I clicked on the unit complexes on the GIS. It gives you the count of them right away. Count is the count. My count is right. Guarantee it. And beyond that, it needs to be fair.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else that would like to make a comment? Yes, sir.
Mark Daly, Quail Point, Unit 116. Trustee Gergen made a statement.
Name, please.
Mark Daly. Mark Daly.
He gave it.
Okay, I didn't hear it.
Trustee Gergen made a statement that under the parameters of your ordinance, the ESC was changed for off-board place because they do not offer care in their apartment building. We are the same. We are a 55-plus community. We are an apartment building. They don't offer any care.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else?
Jim Forrester, 1405 Capitol Drive. Just here on behalf of the liquor license, Lazar is on one of the applicants. And I think he does a great job. He's got a lot of customers that are also my customers, and wish I could sit out like on a day like tonight and have a cocktail. I think he's going to do a nice job with it. And he just added on his new restaurant with it also. So just want to give you my positive input on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, then we're gonna move on. Item 5, ordinances, we have none. Item 6, resolutions, we have none. Item 7, old business, we have none. And item 8, new business. Discussion and possible action on new Class B liquor, combo liquor license, Beach House Bistro and La Trava, House of Theo DBA Rosati's Pizza. Who would like to handle this over here? Jenna? Yeah.
Okay. So there is a Class B liquor license that's available due to Applebee's not renewing. That was not a reserve license, so it's just, I think what was happening was we have 2 applicants for the same license, so it's kind of up to the board when that happens, what to do with that. They both kind of came in at the same time and gave their applications kind of one after the other. So I listed them how they were given. Beach House was first, Rosati's was second, but they did both come in on the same day. So that's kind of basically what we have before the board tonight, is to take action to see who would get that Class B combo license.
So just a little further guidance, because this is kind of a unique situation
Yeah.
where you have one available license for 2 applicants. So first off, Jen is right. This does not fall into the category of the ordinance that the board adopted with respect to the publishing of the reserve license and having applicants come in, and then there's certain criteria the board has to look at. That's not this. Really, because this is a new Class B license, an existing license is being issued to a potentially new applicant, the discretion really falls on the board to consider really criteria as it deems fit in granting one of these licenses. What I will say, though, is the sheer math says that if you approve one, you would have to deny the other. And the statute does provide that if you are making a denial of a new license, the applicant who is denied has to be provided in writing the reasons for that denial. So if there's a motion to approve, there also has to be a subsequent motion to deny, citing specific reasons that the clerk can provide to the applicant who's denied pursuant to the statute.
Separate motions, or are we making it in one?
I do separate motions.
Can I make a motion then? Well, if the board is so inclined, I would make a motion to approve the Beach House liquor license, seeing as how we've always stated that these licenses were first come, first serve, as well as, he was first.
Second, Gergen.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any comments or questions as it relates to the motion?
Wish we had more liquor licenses.
We do.
And I would just clarify that the first come, first serve is not a formal requirement of our ordinance, nor is it of state statute. It's been past practice of the board, I believe, is what trustee Grabowski was referring to.
Correct.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is hereby carried.
I'll make a motion to deny a liquor license for Rosati's Pizza on the basis that we do not have any more licenses.
Well,
Well, well, we have the, right.
We do have a license.
Okay, but it's not on the agenda to offer them
Did they
to sell them
apply
a
for the
license.
specific
Yeah,
one?
so what's on the agenda is approval or denial, correct, Matt?
yes.
So I am making a motion to deny with staff feeling fit however they want to.
Is there a specific reason that you can iterate?
We do not have this specific license anymore to award to Rosati's.
By virtue of action you just took, is there a specific reason that this property or this applicant is being denied? And if there's not, there's not, other than the fact that first come, first served, there's none left.
That is
Yeah,
the
that is
reason.
the
That is
reason.
100% the only reason.
Okay.
Because they both applied for that specific license that was,
Yeah, nobody wants the expensive one.
Yeah, literally came in the same morning, yeah. It was just whoever came to the counter first with a completed license, yeah.
so, yeah, okay.
Second, Krasavic.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Item B, review, discussion, and possible action to approve a certified survey map request of applicant from WMG Acquisitions via Andrew Wilkowski, JSD Professional Services, Inc., to create 2 additional parcels labeled as Lot 18 and Lot 19 from the original parcel located at PWV 09019844003. Property owner is Meadow Creek Limited Partnership. This has been forwarded from the Planning Commission for approval. So I will look for anybody that has any questions or comments.
Where's the Christmas tree farm gonna go now?
We'll put them in the north a little more.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, fair enough then.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the CSM for WMG Acquisitions.
Second, Rhodey.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Item C, review, discussion, and possible action to approve a certified survey map request of applicant Attorney Mary Beth Perntau for a lot line adjustment. This 0.1 acre parcel located at 132 Maple Avenue, PWV 0929004 is zoned R5 Single Family Residential. Property owners are Chuck and Jody Grosh. Here again, this was sent to you by the Village Planning Commission for approval. Do I have any questions or comments?
Matt, it's my understanding that we're getting rid of old subdivision lot lines essentially.
Was that this one? I thought that was a different application
Oh, okay.
for the board.
Yeah.
I think you're referring to a different matter where we attached that as a requirement, but that was a CUG.
Okay.
This one, trying to find this one was a lot line adjustment between 2 adjacent parcels, adding on to one of the other and taking away from the other. It's not cleaning up anything, it's actually adding on lot from an adjacent lot. is my understanding.
And they own both parcels?
That I'm not sure, but if they're bringing this forward for review, they have some sort of agreements in place if there is a different lot owner. That wasn't addressed at Plan Commission.
Are there any other questions?
No, I'll make a motion to approve the CSM with the village engineer and director of public works conditions.
Second, Rudy.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Review, discussion, and possible action to appoint village president Jeff Knutson, trustee Bob Rhodey, and administrator Heiser to develop 2024 goals for the village administrator. Scott and I have been, pardon me.
Old habits die hard, Jeff.
I've been called worse.
Bob and I have been working in the past with Scott, and now that we have a new administrator, we just felt that, and he did too, felt that it would be good to have the village board approve that we continue our work with him on developing his goals for this year. And then if you want to keep us, we can keep going to 2025. But this is right now for the 2024 goals.
I'll make a motion to appoint Village President Jeff Knutson, Trustee Bob Rhodey, and Administrator Heiser to develop 2024 goals for the village administrator.
Second.
Do I have a second?
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Review, discussion, and possible action on grant opportunities from WEDC for small business development. This came to me via email, and I sent it over to Matt, who thought it was a good idea, so he put it on the agenda. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we need to agendize exploration of potential grant opportunities?
Depending on the opportunity, it's best practice to have board approval
Of pursuit of free money?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I would love to issue
We're
a
always
blanket
approved.
approval, but barring that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the exploration of grant opportunities from the WEDC for small business development.
Second, Gergen.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Item F, review, discussion, and possible action regarding an amendment to the lease agreement with Beach Boat and Bait LLC. I hope everyone's gone through that. Are there any questions or comments as it relates to that particular item? As you know, the
So,
Lehman Park is doing very, very well.
yeah, so just a note, so this came through the Park and Rec Board last week. And it's more of a formality. Marietta was originally on the lease with the other business owner, and she is now vacating the business, and they're just moving forward without her, and she didn't want her name anymore on the lease, so.
Yeah, so for the board's edification, this lease listed the LLC as well as always an individual member as jointly liable on the lease. So there's always somebody has personal liability along with the LLC. So what we've asked for, if there's going to be a change in ownership of the underlying LLC, that we maintain that personal obligation there. So that's what they've agreed to do. What you're being asked to approve is an amendment to the lease agreement deciding Marietta's position as presented. Full disclosure for the board, Marietta Herdeman is my aunt, and I've done work for some of the members of Beachside Boat and Bait LLC in the past. I disclosed that to staff. They're well aware of that. There's no professional conflict. Personal conflicts, none. I just want to make that disclosure. So,
I'll make a motion to approve the adjusted tenant lease to just be with Beachside Boat and Bait as well as Matthew Krylow.
Second, Kreiser.
Do we have a motion and a second? Any discussion?
Can I just make a comment? Marietta was fantastic to deal with, running the business. Wish her the best in the future. Please let her know that.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby adopted. Review, discussion, and possible action approve construction services contract with R.A. Smith for 2024 road and utility improvement projects. Is there anybody here that has any questions or comments as it relates to that particular one? I did earlier. I contacted David and he explained everything to my satisfaction, but is there anybody else that would have any comments or questions? If not, I'll look for a motion then.
Motion to, where are we at here? Approve construction services contract for R.A. Smith.
Second, Krasnich.
Do you want to put an exceed, not to exceed the amount shown?
Sure, what is that total? 79,000, not to exceed 80,000.
Okay.
Is that the amount, Dave? Okay.
By the way, I think it's gonna come in more than that. I talked to the engineer today. We're gonna work with them to keep it.
I'll stick with my
It's on
motion.
video.
When they ballpark these, they kind of just use 6% of the $1 million project as a estimate. Just like what the industry uses, so then they kind of fine tune it off that.
Thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second again. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Review, discussion, and possible action on approval of checks and invoices for all funds July 2024. I will look for a motion to approve all checks and invoices except for the library for July 2024, as presented.
Motion to approve?
Second, Gergen.
Here we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? I will look for a motion to acknowledge the checks and invoices for the library July 2024.
Motion to acknowledge the library checks and invoices.
Second, Krasnich.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Citizen comments. This is an opportunity for citizens to share their opinions with board members on any topic they choose. However, due to Wisconsin open meeting laws, the board is not able to answer questions or respond to your comments. All comments should be directed to the board. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Speakers are asked to please use the podium and state their name and address for the record. Is there anybody here that would like to make a comment at this time?
Hi, my name is John Bacchus. My address is 2822 Windsor Place, Waukesha. I'm here for the liquor license. I would just like to see if the board would take my paperwork and see if we can apply for the other license that is there. Because we already have everything ready to go. We were looking to extend as well, so just having that in note. We were both in the lobby at the same time. Just the way the line works, the side was second, so no hard feelings. I get it, there was only one of them, but I would like to still process, move forward with this, like to expand our business, that may look like. So, thank you. I appreciate you guys' decision. I know you all do tough work here, especially with everything that was going on. So, thank you. Didn't work out for me, but I would like to still pursue it. So, thank you.
I would go and talk to staff tomorrow.
I'll send you an email.
Sounds good.
But be early.
I have small children, and that's what honestly, that's what I didn't hear. Exactly when the doors, I knew about it 3 months prior, and I couldn't apply that. So it just happened to work out that way. I get it, it's nobody's fault, it's just, short end of this thing, like you said, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, closed session. The village board will, excuse me, the village board of the village of Pewaukee enter closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute section 1985 1E for deliberating, negotiating, and purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive regarding requires closed session specifically regarding the building lease for the public Pewaukee Public Library and joint library agreement with the city of Pewaukee. I'll look for a motion to go into closed session, please.
Motion to go into closed session.
Second, Rhodey?
Okay, roll call vote, please.
There you go. Trustee Gergen.
Yes.
Trustee Rhodey.
Yes.
Trustee Belt.
Yes.
Trustee Krasovich.
Yes.
Trustee Kreiser.
Yes.
Trustee Grabowski.
Yes.
President Knutson.
Yes. Sir, we're in closed session, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, this is a closed session portion of the agenda, so the public and the press are, has to, we need to this piece.
We're back to recording? Okay, item 12 is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, Krasnich.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are hereby adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of your month, week.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, you too.
Good night, Bob.